Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. The price of XRP continues to drop, and I continue to not care at all. Why? Well, there are a lot of reasons. Take a look at this headline, though, from the Crypto Basic. Big investors accumulate 1.5 billion plus XRP, now hold 26.8% of XRP supply. And so it's been fascinating to see that, although, as accurately reported within this article, you've actually seen a decrease this year compared to previous years in terms of activity on the XRP ledger. Despite that, and I'll explain why that's not a bad thing in and of itself as we get a little bit further into the video, but despite that, how have the big, the big investors behaved? How does the smart money behave? And not that you, and look, to be clear, I don't mean that everybody that has money is just by, the nature of that being the case. It doesn't mean that they're all intelligent. But broadly speaking, the entities out there and individuals that have larger sums of money, they probably got there for a reason. They're less likely to make idiotic decisions. They're less likely to behave like the typical, retail lemming speculators out there that just follow one another off the cliff to their own demise as panic sets in. What we're seeing here is an increase in holdings from the individuals. So I'm going to break this all down for you, but before going any further, I do want to be clear. I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. As I record this video, XRP is down to 48 cents. Bitcoin's down to $27,140. So why don't I care? Well, as is typically the case, XRP is down because Bitcoin's down. It's just the asset class doing what it does. Crypto's volatile. I'm not going to emotionally respond. I've been in this far too long for these movements to bother me in any sort of emotional way. But still, here's a 7-day chart for XRP, and you can see it's just falling right on down. But then look at the 7-day chart for Bitcoin. Look at what it's doing at the end of this chart here. It's the same thing. XRP literally just followed Bitcoin, so it's not like there's something fundamentally wrong here. And then you have articles like this one, and I don't need to read this. I'm just going to make a broader point on this, but here's a headline from the Crypto Basic. Finance expert projects fifth wave can take XRP down to 35 cents. Well, look, I don't make price predictions. Maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't. But let me just say this. Those with conviction will reap the benefits of XRP when the market heats back up. And we're seeing a lot of conviction from XRP whales. Even if XRP price goes lower in the short term, does that change my investment thesis? Does it change your investment thesis surrounding XRP? If this happens, will any XRP fundamentals have shifted just because speculators bring the price down? Well, no, of course not. I need to see an actual fundamental shift to be concerned here. And if it's just speculators being speculators and XRP following what broader crypto markets are doing, it just doesn't matter here. And the smart money gets this, as is typically the case here. So here's the headline from the Crypto Basic. Big investors accumulate 1.5 billion plus XRP, now hold 26.8% of XRP supply. Now, folks, XRP is finite. I don't need to tell you guys that. And it's deflationary. There's only so much XRP out there. And the fact that XRP, when it hit its all-time high almost 6 years ago, the fact that it ran up to close to $4, and by the way, that run started when there were less than 700,000 accounts in existence, so way less than 1% of humans had ever held XRP at that point in time, and it still ran to almost $4 with almost no humans participating. What do you think happens as more and more people jump into crypto, which is what we're seeing now? And so I think that this is part of the calculus for a lot of larger holders out there. They just kind of get it. But check this out. The piece reads as follows. XRP ledger whale and shark addresses have accumulated over 1.5 billion XRP since last October, despite the network witnessing a persistent decline in whale transactions. Notably, these addresses, holding between 100,000 and 100 million XRP, have augmented their balances over the past year, according to a disclosure from market intelligence resource Santiment. And let me just pause here to address this, because you might be, well, I just read it. You might be wondering, what's up with these, fewer whale transactions, but Moonlight, well, you're just reporting that they're holding more. Well, yeah, both things are true. They're not mutually exclusive here. Think back to 2022 and 2021. What was happening in each of those years? Well, in 2021, we had crypto euphoria. We had the laser eyes and the diamond hands and all that crap. Insane a number of people and entities participating in the world of crypto. So way higher volume. Okay, but that's not a surprise. When you're doing those your 4 times, yeah. But you know when else you can see an insane amount of volume? Is during times of tumult and chaos. And what did we see in 2022? How about that whole Terra Luna situation? 3 Arts Capital, Voyager, BlockFi. Remember all this? And then you get to the end of the year, you think it can't get any worse. And then we find out that FTX was an actual Ponzi scheme. And then that collapsed, and that's where the bottom was. But so even though the prices were going the wrong direction, we'd rather see them go up, obviously. There was a ton of volume. So just to be clear, transactionally, there were, of course, larger transactions during those times because you had euphoria and then you had tremendous fear. So more market participation, whether it's good or bad, you were having it. But then you get a year like this. And yes, it's been nice to see us climbing out of the ditch for most of this year. Think about where we started price-wise for Bitcoin and XRP at the beginning of this year. Much better off right now. So happy to see that. But there are far fewer people paying attention. So the whales that are here and the larger holders, they have been taking advantage of the climate. It's just that as a result of fewer people paying attention, you're not volume-wise. It's just different. But again, I just want to be clear. That's not some sort of negative. This is amazing. Like these are the people with conviction. The people with conviction have been making these purchases. Anyway, piece continues. Sentiment confirmed that these key shark and whale addresses on the XRP ledger have continued to amass more XRP tokens despite a considerable drop in whale transactions on the network compared to the levels witnessed in 2021 and 2022. Data suggests that these wallets held a cumulative balance of $7.16 billion worth of XRP as of October 9th, 2022. This balance translated to 13.84 billion XRP tokens, with the XRP changing hands at, we'll just use a round number here, about 51 cents at the time. This cumulative holding has increased since then. Per the latest data, these addresses now hold $7.89 billion worth of XRP. This balance amounted to 15.37 billion XRP against the price of roughly 51 cents at the time of Santiment's disclosure. And so, folks, what's interesting to me, and I think more telling here, forget what the price is, the current price. It's volatile. It's going to move a little bit. What about the total holdings from 13.84 billion to 15.37 billion? Anyway, piece continues. The disclosure confirms that these addresses have procured 1.53 billion XRP since last October. Due to this persistent accumulation trend, they now hold a whopping 26.8% of XRP supply, as opposed to the 24.1% rate recorded a year ago. And so what was actually happening? There are all sorts of people who have been panic selling, but then you got to ask, because there's always a buyer on the other end. If there's a seller, there's a buyer, vice versa. So if somebody is purchasing your XRP, who's doing that and why? If you're one of the people that was afraid and panic selling, and this isn't me telling you to buy or not buy, I don't care what any individual out there does, because I don't know what's in your best interest. I'm just not financial advice, but I'm just noting. Haven't you been kind of curious? If you are one of the people that's panic selling, why does somebody want that from you? Because you're in fear that it's going to go lower and lower and lower. What's on the other side of that transaction? What are these people thinking? Well, they're obviously thinking that ultimately it's going to go up. They're betting against you. And so, yes, there were smaller accounts, and a lot of them panic selling, and this drove the price of XRP and everything else under the sun down, down, down. But again, those people on the other side of the transaction, what are they doing? And so that's why I personally will never behave like the typical lemming retail speculator out there that just makes important financial decisions based on their feels. I'm just never going to do that. Ain't no damn chance I'm going to do this. Piece continues. The sentiment chart further sheds light on the accumulation behavior of these wallets. Notably, they began amassing XRP aggressively in November 2022 amid the FTX implosion. Folks, how about that? And they write, this period saw the most significant spike in their holdings within this cycle. Wouldn't you know it? A capitulation of an FTX crashing. Now, I wasn't buying XRP because it's still, by far, my largest individual crypto holding. And so, but I talked about what I was doing at the time. I was also going on a buying spree. I spent a good chunk of change purchasing all sorts of other coins. And again, I talked about that all at the time. So people were fearful and panic selling. I bought stuff on the cheap, and I'm glad that I did. And so, but anyway, the point is, it's not unique to XRP or any individual crypto. That's just the sentiment. But it was happening with XRP. Of course it was. And people were still betting, I think, even before the legal clarity back then, that XRP would ultimately have legal clarity, which we have now. And piece continues. Interestingly, their balance bumped from 24.28% of XRP supply on November 6, 2022 to 25.96% on December 29th. This spike suggests that the addresses accumulated over 960 million XRP in less than 2 months. Their balance remained steady until another spike was seen in mid-July when XRP secured legal victory. Now, sentiment revealed that this accumulation trend prevailed despite a drop in whale transactions above $100,000. And for context, in 2021, the daily whale transactions averaged 9,000. The network witnessed noticeable spikes in these transactions between April and May, peaking at 28,000 on April 21st, 2021. So folks, what was I saying a little bit earlier in the video? Because April is when we saw XRP get up to right at $2. That was its high for the last market cycle. 28,000 transactions of that size on April 21st. But that's because there is euphoria in the market. So like we're gonna have times like that again. And that's why for me, it's important for me personally that I just sit here and do precisely nothing because I can't control when we're in various portions of market cycles. I have no control over that. And so I just don't care. It doesn't emotionally hit me, but I will have fun and I will be excited when we get to the more euphoric times. So that's the most fun part of being in crypto. It's just that that's not what it is to be involved in crypto, for most of the time anyway. But yeah, I mean, it's ultimately coming here. So I just wanted to point this out, as some people are undoubtedly going to be feeling down and XRP's price is going down, and how could this be? Legal clarity for XRP and it still goes down. Well, it's not because of XRP. There's nothing functionally different or bad about XRP now. I mean, we're in a better position with it having legal clarity right now. And I think that without that legal clarity, XRP would be worth way less today than it actually is today. I wouldn't be surprised if it were closer to 30 cents right now. Who knows? Maybe in the 20-something cent region, if not for this. Because XRP is still a hair above where it was before it had legal clarity. And Bitcoin's worse off. So that should tell you something, you know? Definitely there are more people at XRP, but you just can't fix the 2.5+ years of damage that was done by the SEC in the snap of a finger. But I think that if we just let time pass, it'll all just get sorted out. That's a strong part of my expectation here, and we'll see what happens here. But I think it's pretty cool to see all of this, even in the face of XRP going down along with the broader crypto market. Look at how the investors with the most money are behaving specifically as it pertains to XRP. They've been buying, and they're just sitting here holding. Don't mind seeing that one little tiny baby boo bitch. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.